The Star Wars galaxy has seen countless wars, rising empires, and the ever-present struggle between the Jedi and the Sith. But two of the most important eras in Star Wars history, the Old Republic and the High Republic, are often confused. While both shaped the fate of the Jedi and the Republic, they are vastly different in philosophy, structure, and their conflicts. Today, we're breaking down exactly what separates these two legendary time periods in Star Wars lore. The Old Republic, the Golden Age of Jedi and Sith Wars. The Old Republic era stretches back thousands of years before the Skywalker Saga, a time when the Jedi and Sith were locked in endless war. This period, primarily explored in legends through Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR and other media, portrays a galaxy where Sith lords ruled entire empires, and the Republic was in a constant battle for survival. At its height, the Old Republic was a massive galactic government, led by a Chancellor and a Senate, much like the Republic we see in the prequels. But unlike the later Republic, this one had to contend with full-scale Sith empires, dark-side cults and rogue Jedi who frequently turned against their order. The Jedi of this era were much more militarized, often serving as generals and warriors in wars against the Sith. Some of the most famous figures from this period include Revan, Darth Malak, Darth Bane, Exar Kun and Naga Sadow, all of whom played pivotal roles in shaping the future of the Sith and the Jedi. One of the most defining conflicts of this era was the Jedi versus Sith Wars, which eventually led to the near extinction of the Sith. This resulted in Darth Bane's Rule of Two, which changed Sith philosophy forever, shifting from massive armies of Sith to the secretive master and apprentice structure we see in the movies. By the end of the Old Republic era, the Republic had won, but the seeds of the Sith's return were planted. The Jedi Order, while victorious, had grown rigid and complacent, setting the stage for their downfall in later centuries. The High Republic, the height of Jedi power and prosperity. In contrast, the High Republic era takes place much later, about 200 years before the Phantom Menace. This was a time of peace, exploration, and Jedi dominance in the galaxy. The Sith were believed to be extinct, and the Republic was expanding into the Outer Rim, bringing order to the lawless regions of space. Unlike the Old Republic's battle-hardened warriors, the Jedi of the High Republic were more like knights of peace, explorers and scholars. They wore ornate robes, carried beautifully crafted lightsabers, and believed deeply in justice and harmony. This was the Jedi Order at its strongest, operating from the Great Starlight Beacon, a massive space station designed to spread peace and unity. But while the Sith were in hiding, the galaxy still had threats. Instead of Sith empires, the Jedi faced the Nihil, a group of anarchistic marauders who had mastered hyperspace in unpredictable ways, allowing them to strike anywhere, anytime. Unlike the Sith, who wanted control, the Nihil thrived on chaos and destruction, challenging the Jedi in ways they had never faced before. Another major threat was the Drengir, terrifying dark-side-infused plant creatures that fed off fear and corruption. The Jedi of the High Republic struggled against these enemies, showing that even in an era of supposed peace, darkness was never too far away. Key differences between the two eras. While both the Old Republic and the High Republic were dominated by the Jedi, their roles and philosophies were vastly different. The Old Republic was defined by war. Jedi were warriors, constantly fighting the Sith. The High Republic was defined by peace. Jedi were guardians and explorers, maintaining order in a growing republic. The Sith were openly waging war in the Old Republic, while in the High Republic they were in the shadows, setting the stage for Palpatine's eventual rise. The Jedi Order of the Old Republic was militarized and rigid, while the Jedi of the High Republic were more flexible and independent, allowing for diverse interpretations of the Force. Why these eras matter in Star Wars lore. The Old Republic is a fan favorite because of its epic battles, ancient Sith lords, and the raw, untamed nature of the Force. Meanwhile, the High Republic is fascinating because it shows a republic at its peak, a time before corruption, before the Clone Wars, and before the Jedi lost their way. Both eras provide deep lore and incredible stories that expand Star Wars beyond the Skywalker Saga, offering a glimpse into the past that shaped everything we see in the movies. So which era do you prefer? The chaotic, war-torn Old Republic, or the majestic, golden age of the High Republic? Let me know in the comments. And if you love deep Star Wars lore, don't forget to like, subscribe, and may the Force be with you.